Very pleased with that.
Now, thanks for your company as well. Look forward to seeing you next time on The Chase Australia.
Tonight, Townsville's COVID-19 cases climb to 20.
People urged to get their flu shot early.
Fruit and veg prices set to drop.
And a dad's soccer field in the backyard.
Across Townsville and North Queensland, this is 7 News with Brough and Joanne Desmond.
Good evening, thanks for joining us.
Good evening.
Calls are growing for North Queensland's borders to close as Townsville's confirmed coronavirus cases rise to 20. The Mayor has also moved to shut more key public areas as locals continue to ignore social distancing rules.
This is the ultimate breakup letter. It's been signed by 40 local medical professionals who say Townsville won't be able to cope with a widespread coronavirus outbreak.
I think there's a high risk that we could overwhelm our capacities locally, particularly if we're importing cases from other areas like southeast Queensland.
They're keeping up the pressure to close North Queensland borders from the rest of the state. James Cook University researcher Dr. Patrick Hodgson has written a thesis comparing coronavirus to the Spanish flu. He says we need to learn from history.
I think you could definitely make a case for closing parts of the state off from the other, just to slow the virus down.
But the Health Minister says the curve is beginning to flatten because people are only moving around for essential travel.
That's not really appropriate here. The response to this has been very, very strong.
And although North Queensland's borders don't look to be closing, Castle Hill will be. From 5 p.m. Monday, the walking tracks will be shut because people haven't been social distancing.
When we're getting and seeing large groups of people disregard the advice, it leaves councils with no other option.
I'm just devastated. Even Lulu loves doing the hill.
But the road track will still remain open. The move is echoed by the Premier, who today announced the closure of national parks.
Because it's where a lot of people are congregating, and what we've seen lately is not good enough.
But there is some good news today for parents. The Prime Minister will provide free childcare to those who have to keep working.
To ensure that they'll be able to remain open and be there for those parents to ensure that they can do what they need to do each day.
Georgia Costi, 7 News.
But we're being urged to get the flu shot early this year to alleviate the stress on the healthcare system during the coronavirus crisis. It's one of the few things our elderly, self-isolating at home, are encouraged to leave the house for.
Arming themselves as much as possible against the flu, health experts say it's more important than ever to vaccinate.
You don't want to be having the flu and then having the coronavirus. You're fighting a war then on two fronts.
Currently, there is no vaccination to protect against coronavirus, but the recent adoption of social distancing and heightened hygiene measures to stop the spread of COVID-19 will also help reduce the severity of flu season.
So the elderly and the immunocompromised are at higher risk than the younger, healthier people, so we need to look after them.
Elderly residents are still being told to get their shot, even if they are self-isolating.
One of the reasons you can leave your own home is to get medical care, and getting a flu vaccine is medical care.
This year's flu shot for the over 65s has increased potency.
For the over 65s, you've got full coverage of the 2As and the 2Bs of influenza, but you've also got a little added immune booster.
Patients are being advised to use telehealth services before making an appointment to help hasten the time spent at the GP.
Most practices in this area do have current flu vaccines now available, and we're getting regular supplies every month, so no problem with that.
Danielle Pinto, 7 News.
Herbert MP Philip Thompson is calling for local heroes who helped those in need during the 2019 floods to be awarded with National Emergency Medals. He says he witnessed firsthand the bravery of emergency service personnel and volunteers.
People on dinghies out there pulling people off their roofs. We saw emergency services helping elderly and the most vulnerable get into disaster centres.
Nominations for the medals can be made on the Governor-General's website.
Fruit and veg shops say the price of produce will go down, offering a welcome reprieve from escalating costs. Shoppers are being assured production is picking up, while demand from restaurants and cafes is dropping due to coronavirus restrictions.
The pandemic's driving strong demand for fresh produce.
Everyone panicked, globally or in Australia, and we got smashed.
In the past few weeks, trade has doubled at supermarkets and fruit and veg shops, and so have prices.
Because of increased demand, things went through the roof the last week or two. Capsicums and broccoli and cabbage and a lot of lines.
But shop owners say the high prices will be short-lived.
There'll be a lot of things oversupplied because the restaurants and cafes are being closed, so there's an oversupply in the markets, and prices and a lot of things will halve within the next week.
Farmers across Queensland are still working to make sure they're keeping up with supply during the pandemic.
For everyone, it's fairly difficult having to have all the new restrictions in place, but it is very important that industries that can continue to trade do continue.
But the health crisis has them worried.
We're concerned about being able to continue having enough staff to continue.
They're calling for the federal government to extend current working holiday visas.
It would be good to keep the pool of workers that we have so we don't have to import workers from regions.
To make sure farms are still picking and packing to keep shelves stocked. Georgia Terry, 7 News.
Well, Darren Thompson could be the coolest dad on the block after he transformed his family's backyard into a soccer field. With the school term finishing early and coronavirus keeping the kids cooped up, it was game on to bring the action home.
A soccer season cancelled and 3 kids to keep busy. What's a dad to do but build a soccer field in the backyard?
We seen a little goalpost on Facebook one day there and sort of eventuated from there basically, and then we got a bit OCD and started line marking, etc.
Resourceful Darren found everything he needed at the hardware store.
So basically we made the posts out of some PVC pipe that we had laying around the house, put that together, had to buy some bird netting from Bunnings, and while I was there I just grabbed some spray paint and went from there basically.
It was all in a day's work for this self-confessed lawn fanatic.
The whole idea was basically to bring him outside the house, and we just really liked the afternoon. We're very fortunate to have the shady area in the backyard in the afternoons.
The Thompson kids are stoked with their new playground. And so is Mum.
I've played soccer since I was about 4, so now having my own kids, I've brought them into that too, but they have the love and passion for it as well, though we don't force them to play.
It's a field fit for a team, but for now, it's all in the family.
Yeah, the next door neighbour's kids popped their head over the other day, sort of drooling at what they could be playing with, but obviously they can't at the moment.
Thanks, Dad. You've really kicked some goals. Yasmin Bonnell, 7 News.
You can see a few balls sailing over the fence, can't you? We'll take a break in a moment. Tips on keeping the kids educated and entertained during the lockdown.
And the local musicians staging virtual gigs for their fans.
Oh, here he comes. Russell, stop being a diva and get in here.
The most amazing
Release the beast!
transformations.
Beautiful lion! Justin Bieber!
Rebel Wilson's Pooch Perfect. Tonight on 7.
Get it now at Joyce Main. 60 months interest free plus bonus gift card. That's right. Get a bonus $50 Joyce Main gift card for every $1,000 financed. That's bonus gift cards valued at up to $300. TVs, fridges, cooking, laundry appliances, laptops, desktops, tablets, audio. Heaps of bargains store-wide. Get it now with 60 months interest free plus up to $300 in bonus gift cards. Don't wait. Race into Joyce Main today.
Take my hand, we can get lost together. Let's begin a life that we live forever. Oh, let's go. Let's build the world that we both love.
Imagine if life was what you made it. Dream chasing and memory making. Enjoying the big and the small. Queensland Country Bank and Queensland Country Health Fund. Imagine more.
Willows
Essentials is open and trading. We understand it's a challenging time. Our retailers are working hard to deliver the essential products, services and maintain stock levels. Visit our Facebook page and website for latest updates. Thank you for the support and please take care.
It's always Joyce Main for the latest kitchen inspirations. Right now, get big bonuses with big brands like Electrolux, Westinghouse, Bosch, Smeg, Fisher & Paykel, Chef, Belling, Euromade, Ariston and more. Receive a bonus kitchen essentials package valued at up to $1,400 with a purchase of selected kitchen appliances. Hurry, these offers are for a limited time only. Big bonuses with big brands. It's always Joyce Main for the latest kitchen inspirations. Catalogue out now.
Joyce Main. Monday at 7, you'll be renovating the penthouse of this Gold Coast icon.
Oh, is that a pool?
Bigger reveals.
Look at this view. We have never had anything as big as this on House Rules.
Bigger emotion. Even our house. The biggest renovations that TV has ever seen. Welcome to High Stakes. Starts Monday at 7 on 7.
Tasty, affordable and delicious. What's for dinner in the next break with Coles?
Nice having you with us on 7 News. Well, the live music industry has been decimated by the coronavirus, with concerts cancelled right across the globe. But a group of Townsville musicians are trying to slowly turn things around, staging a virtual gig for their fans online.
As the threat of coronavirus keeps people indoors, the live music scene is taking a hit. Local artists have been drumming up ways to keep the industry alive.
Obviously, it relies on big crowds and people gathering together, which we can't do physically at the moment, but we can do virtually now.
Local production group Neighbourhood Sessions usually host concerts in Townsville every month. Now they're adapting to a new way of performing, facing the music during COVID-19.
Fortunately, Neighbourhood Sessions once again have come to the rescue for us, and they've put on these live streams, and that's allowed us to actually still play and still connect with an audience and keep building an audience.
A few weeks ago, the musicians banded together to bring neighbourhood live stream sessions to life.
It's a small crime, and I got no excuses.
We just got together there, played some shows, tried to record them live so that we could then release them over the next few weeks to just try and help people get together and listen to some music during these tricky times.
They're encouraging people to tune in every Tuesday night at 7:30.
To have the side of it where our actual listeners are still in tune with what we're doing online through these hard times is actually really good for us.
Yasmin Purnell, 7 News.
Well, local coffee shops have had to change how they do business to keep going during the coronavirus pandemic. Candy Porter owns FC's Coffee in Aitkenvale and has come up with a clever idea to keep customers coming back. The drive-through cafe is now offering a bonus with a cuppa.
Windscreens this morning. Woohoo! Get a coffee and get your windscreen washed.
Good job. FC's Coffee is offering the service Monday to Friday from 7 a.m.
A stronger bond between parents and teachers is being formed across the country as students adapt to online learning at home. But educators want mums and dads to know that learning isn't just academic, and the health and well-being of students is paramount.
Nellie Sperling is learning about shapes and numbers while carefully arranging the flowers she picked from the garden. The 6-year-old is also spending time with her mum, meditating and stretching.
I've been doing it as when I was a baby, and I love doing it.
Many parents are now juggling working from home with homeschooling. Emily says it's important to balance learning with real life.
Create rituals and routines. The best thing that you can do at the moment is set up your whole family with some really positive rituals that will hopefully last forever.
She's sharing her tips for a happy, harmonious home online. Teachers agree the welfare of students is paramount.
The most important thing out of this whole journey we're on will be the mental health and well-being of our kids on the other side.
Amy Thompson is surrounded by empty desks, but her online class is full.
Good morning, Year 12.
She teaches design and business.
We do a lot of hands-on, real-world, project-based learning, so translating that to an online platform has required us to be quite innovative.
Teachers leading by example in this brave new world.
You can't get any more real world or authentic for our students to see happening.
Katie Toney, 7 News.
Let's get to the sport at 8th, and the wait continues for our footy players, mate.
It does, Brough. Look, we now won't see the TDRL or Townsville football competitions back up and running until at least June. More next, plus the latest from the NRL as Townsville's Graham Edwards gears up to race in the Supercars E-Series.
Hey everyone, I'm Courtney Rolston and I'm sharing my what's for dinner recipe with you from my home in my kitchen. I know so many of us are struggling out there, people are stuck indoors, but I think there's nothing like a delicious meal to bring everyone together. I'm going to be cooking for you my harissa lamb koftas with some couscous and carrot slaw. It's using really great value everyday ingredients. It's really simple to make, so let's get on with the cooking. 1 cup of couscous. I'm just going to put a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil onto the couscous with 1 cup of boiling or hot water. Give that a stir. Okay, now pop a plate on top of the couscous. So our carrot salad is super easy. So I'm going in with a couple of tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. I'm going to pop some ground cumin into the dressing. You want a good pinch of sea salt. And I'm also going in with a dash of maple syrup. Give that a little stir. Now I'm using 1 onion that I've cut in half. So I'm going in with a long red chilli. Now I've got 3 carrots just grated up. These are available all year round. We've also got some coriander. One other thing to go into our carrot salad is some sesame seeds. I've just toasted these off. That's the carrot salad done. So for the lamb koftas, Olive, we're trying to cook dinner here. Alright, so for the lamb koftas, I've got 500 grams of Coles lamb mince, half of that onion diced up. I've got some pine nuts for some beautiful value to get loads.
The payment scheme and the government.
And your Jones refused to. After them was postponed.
I'd sort of probably them go.
The Townsville 400 has been postponed indefinitely. In Aussie motorsport will be online for the Supercars E-Series.
Real rivalries, but a simulated spectacle.
They are all queued up on the grid at Phillip Island.
Pandemic couldn't hit the brakes on the Supercars. On April 8, the 10-week E-Series. Ben Downey, 7 News.
Let's hope, though, we do see it around the track of Reed Park later this year. And that's it for sport. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Nathan.
All right, stay with us after the break. Livio has all the weather details for us. And Scotty Hillier has our fishing report as well.
Fast Ed's favourite perfect comfort food.
Sweet, juicy, succulent.
Perfect for a weekend in.
That is a whole lot of flavour.
Better Homes, Friday.
So we're asking a simple question. Are you where you want to be financially?
So it's not just about where you are now, it's also about planning for the knowns and the unknowns in the future.
What we know is one 20-year plan that is constantly monitored is much better than 21-year plans. So take the first step on the journey of where you want to be by attending our free information evening. We've created an environment here that is welcoming, committed to education, and all of these things empower our clients to make the right decisions.
Uncomfortable at big brand mattress prices? OMF have the quality without the price, like our 53 plus 50 stock take sale, with up to 53% off selected mattresses, like the super comfy Prestige Queen, save $16.99, now $14.99. The Millennium Lavish Queen, save $2,543, now $2,255. Plus have up to 50 months interest free. Or buy the family package and have base and bedhead plus free delivery. And soon at OMF.
Your child was born ready to learn. Every second, their brain forms over 1 million new connections. Simple, everyday activities with you help to make these connections strong. Talk, sing, play and read together every day. Search First 5 Forever for tips, activities and ideas. Authorised by the Queensland Government, Brisbane.
For all kinds of sports and business uniforms, see NQ Clothing. Vinyl print, embroidery, sublimation. They do it all with a wide range of famous brands. Talk to NQ Clothing about specials. Find them at 112B Charters Towers Road, Hermit Park.
Imagine if every day was a healthier one. With affordable hospital and extras cover and exceptional service. They can be. Queensland Country Health Fund. Imagine more.
They're the Aussie television moments that took our breath away.
You're coming with me.
The characters we love.
I'm a better man for knowing you.
I love you. Love you. The greatest shows are all here. Streaming for free on 7+.
Good evening, Livio Regano with tonight's weather. A tropical cyclone is brewing just south of the Solomon Islands, which could be named as early as tomorrow before darting over towards Fiji, where we'll never see it again. Weather's fairly quiet across Queensland at the moment, with only a light peppering of random showers. 31 degrees atop today in Townsville after a low this morning of 21. For April, that's actually very warm. Air also reached a high of 31 and Bowen got to 32. Humidity in Townsville was 56%. Looking at the satellite loop, once again, most of the activities in the west. A few quite decent storms happening out there. Along the coast, it's a lot more quiet, and today, even more so than yesterday, we saw a few random showers popping up around the North Tropical Coast. A couple more around the Fraser Coast that came around this afternoon, even late morning, and you can see a few of them there, some of them reaching almost storm status, but most of the storms are south of the border at the moment. Now for today's chart, firstly, we've got two low pressure systems. You've got the one there in Torres Strait, which looks like it's not going to amount to anything. But this one here near the Solomon Islands has a much greater potential to develop into a tropical cyclone, and it could happen as early as tomorrow. But it's on a path that goes away from us, so it won't affect us in any way. On tomorrow's chart, again, you see that low consolidate. There's two together, but by this stage it might be a single cyclone. Around the coast, you can see a very light wind pattern as the isobars turn around, and on the outlook chart, it starts to get really warm as the northerlies develop ahead of this trough, and there might even be storms again. Now, the latest from the Weather Bureau, the boating forecast for Townsville waters, southeast to northeast winds just 10 to 15 knots right through the weekend, well, at least tomorrow and Saturday. On Sunday, it's actually a bit lighter, below 10 knots. Tomorrow, we've got high tide first up in the morning with a slow run out to the lunchtime low tide, then another tidal peak in the early evening that's not very big. The Herbert and Noel-Burdekin, a fine and mostly sunny day. Townsville, 22 to 30 degrees. Ayr and Ingham, atop of 31. Northern Goldfields and Upper Flinders, again fine and sunny, with Charters Towers ranging 19 to 33 degrees. Georgetown, a touch warmer on 34. Looking ahead for Townsville, a quiet weekend should give way to a fresh easterly change early next week. This should drop our temperatures a degree or two and bring back a few nice showers. That's all the weather for this evening, my friends. No photo tonight, I'm afraid, but I have some doozies in the mailbox, which I'll dig out for you pretty soon. Meanwhile, enjoy the second sleep of April, and I'll catch you again this time tomorrow. Now it's over to Scott Hillier with the Fishing Report.
Yeah, good on you, Livio. Well, those looking to head out and chase a feed for the family over the weekend, conditions look pretty good. Nice building tides on the way thanks to that full moon. Here's a couple of tips. Now, there's been really good numbers of early season bream sneaking around those rivers and creeks at the moment, along with the stretches of beaches. Now, fresh strip baits of mullet, along with peeled prawns, doing the trick for bait. And there's also really good whiting on the flats during that run-out tide. Now, you need to try and get some live yabbies, and again, worms, best for bait. I'd definitely be throwing the crab pots in, with a few quality muddies getting around as well. Now check this out. Here's gun angler Jeffy Wilton with a cracking big reef jack he nailed on a jig on a recent trip. Great fish, Jeff. Now for most of us though, we will be bunkered down at home over the weekend. Perfect time to do some maintenance. With all your reels, look at your line and your leader. Rip about 15 to 20 metres off, get rid of that old line, reattach some fresh leader, so when the time comes for us to get back out there, you'll be ready to rock and roll. Now if you are chasing more outdoor action, join me Saturday 5:30 for Creek to Coast, and remember, stay safe, stay well, we'll get through this together.
Great, thanks for that, Scotty. That's all from us for this Thursday night. Thanks for your company.
And if you'd like to watch anything again, we have our replay coming up in a moment over on 7:2. Otherwise, the National Bulletin now. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. Good night.
Good night.
Tonight in 7 News, a lifeline for parents. Childcare centres to stay open,